Welcome to what feels like a warm spring day here on the Darling Downs. It's honestly one of the strangest winters I've experienced. Really, the last half a year, this entire year has been really strange. End of April, early May was super dry. We were like in near drought conditions, completely clear skies, and yeah, a lot of like early cold nights, some frost early May. But yeah, in June, even while I was gone, apparently had one morning of frost. But apart from that, it's just been completely gloomy, overcast weather, barely any sun. We're in a real sunshine drought, as people are calling it, which is very unusual this time of year. Usually winter is like the clearest time, completely clear skies, crisp mornings. And as you can see behind me, um, these are some Cutamundra waddles, and they are starting to flower. I've never seen this before. Usually all the waddles, which are signature type of plant here in Australia, like they're really beautiful and golden, usually come August, September. That's usually when they flower, August, September. Well, tail end of June, as we're heading into July, which is meant to be the coldest month, you can see they've already started flowering now because it's super warm. I'm in t-shirt. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. It feels so warm, especially coming from South Island, New Zealand, where at the end there we had proper winter conditions. So yeah, it's really, really interesting observations. Yeah, and the grass super green. Needed to keep mowing it throughout the start of winter. Still growing. Everything's very wet, very damp. It was like that when I left, and it's still like it now. Nothing's drying out. So, oh man, yeah. We'll see what happens with that, eh? But yeah, some interesting weather around the world at the moment. Looks like Europe heat wave, all that. Yeah. I'm not going to go into my whole thoughts on climate change now. I'll go a little bit. I do believe in climate change, however, not to the extent, like not the mainstream narrative. I don't believe the mainstream narrative. Like I do believe humans have an impact, but I also believe that there's a much larger cycle at play. Like it all does come in cycles. Like this, our data sets are so short that we really can't look at the last 100 years and say, okay, we know what's going on in terms of like global warming, all this. Like I do think, yeah, there's a cycle, ice ages, temperatures go up and down, of course. It's a natural cycle that we don't touch. Same time, I do believe we do have an impact on the climate, but yeah, I don't believe like in the agenda that they try to push down our throat that net zero is going to solve everything. No, I don't believe that. But anyway, I'll talk more about that in future videos. I wanted to what do I want to even talk about? I had something important I wanted to talk about, really. Anyway, we'll get to that maybe. We'll just ramble a bit. Yeah, I've got to go to work in an hour. I've been called in to do a bit of work this afternoon. It's at my workplace. It's stock take at the moment, as everywhere this time of year. End of financial year. So yeah, I'm going to help with that. Get that done. It's end of financial year, so today's the last day. So I'm going to help with that quickly. Stock take. It's just really boring. Just counting all the stock, making sure everything's all updated, all that. Just really boring stuff. But yeah, what else really? What else? I had something I wanted to talk about. Oh, yes. As of, well, I pretty much am starting tomorrow fresh, 1st of July. But as of right now, I have switched to a Dumbphone. I've had this thing for a while. I previously used the Dumbphone for over 2 years as my main phone. And I always just had my smartphone just sitting in a drawer the entire time, very rarely using it, only taking it out for specific tasks that I needed it for. But for the last 9 months or so, I have had this phone that I'm filming on now. And yeah, I have decided I'm going to switch back permanently to this for the foreseeable future as my main phone, which I have already. It works. Voila. So yeah, this phone I'm filming on now, I'll still use it to film these videos. I've got the YouTube Studio app on here. That's what I use to upload from, and pretty much now I can this is 4G. I can hotspot from it, same as any other phone. So yeah, it's got that, which is an important capability because yeah, I do hotspot a lot. So yeah, I can use that to upload videos from here. But apart from that, really, only a few specific tasks am I going to use the smartphone for now. Because yeah, I realized like I really missed those days when I would just use a dumb phone, which I did for over 2 years from how long? Pretty much from like yeah, mid 2023 all the way through um yeah, like last year, like spring last year, September, October. Yeah, until then I used this as my main phone. I've gone through a few dumb phones. Like I had an older one that ran on 3G, but didn't work anymore after Australia shut down the 3G network. Like we've only got 4G, 5G now. So a lot of older phones then stopped working. So yeah, had to update, and yeah, there's not. It was a bit hard to find one that still works on, not just 4G data, but 4G voice calling VoLTE, like if the phones don't work on our network now, if they don't have that. So even a lot of like older smartphones stopped working because it's like they had 4G data, but they would call over 3G. Well, that didn't work anymore. So yeah, I got this Aspera R40, which is Aspera. It's an Australian brand. And yeah, it works pretty well. It's like rock solid. I can drop this thing and it doesn't break anything. I've dropped it already quite a few times. And yeah, very good. Very happy with it. So yeah, I've decided as of 1st of July. Well, today's 30th of June, so yeah, pretty much switching today. But yeah, as of tomorrow, I am. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a dopamine fast. That's right. I'm gonna do a dopamine fast. I did do one before the New Zealand trip for like a week. I didn't quite stick to it as long as I wanted to, but let me tell you, dopamine fasting, it's way easier if you just switch to a dumb phone. Um, yeah, I've made a lot of excuses over why I can't switch back. Like the reason I got a smartphone in the first place was because my university introduced this new authentication system. Every time I log in to the platform where we do our coursework, like needing to authenticate on the phone and all that, and to log in, and it's like, yeah, that was pretty much my excuse. I needed that and a few other things, so it's just much easier on a smartphone. Well, I'm done with uni now, so I really don't need it anymore. The only thing I need to do with uni now is occasionally I can log into my emails to get my damn invitation to graduation, right? If they're even running one. I think the reason that it's taking so long is basically they have like a quota that they need to fill where this many students are ready to graduate, and then they just hold a graduation ceremony like mid-year, end of year, but apparently they don't have enough students that are meant to graduate mid-year. So yeah, I'm pretty much gonna have to wait till the end of year to graduate, which really does suck. But yeah, I'm still need to clear a few things up with that. Like even if I can't attend graduation, like, I want to attend a graduation ceremony. But even if I can't attend now, like I'd rather just give me my degree now, than at least give me my papers, and just so I can move on. Really start looking for jobs. Regardless of that, I'm gonna start looking for jobs anyway. I'm ready. I've got some experience in my belt now, especially after I did my placement with the Rangers. Speaking of them, I did say I'm staying on as casual with them. There's not really much work available with them at the moment because everything's super wet. A lot of sites are inaccessible, and yeah, they usually this time of year they do their cool burns where they do controlled burns in woodland areas. Everything's just too wet, so the conditions are not right to burn. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, everyone was talking, super El Nino, everything's going to be super dry, and it was looking like that end of April, early May. But no, since like late May through to now, it's been super wet. Not in terms of the amount of rain, but just consistent cloud cover, no sun, nothing's drying out, and just yeah, light scattered showers. Just enough to be annoying, to keep everything wet. Really strange weather patterns. They're also talking about El Nino, of course, and yeah, it is looking likely. I was looking at the latest reports. It's looking like this cloud band that's been persistent across the east coast of Australia is going to should be dissipating throughout the month of July, and then we'll return to by August. We should be returning to your average winter conditions with the crisp, clear days. And yeah, then they're saying going into spring, it's going to get very hot, very early, similar to the last year. And yeah, very dry with bushfire risk going into summer, which well, there's nothing you can do really about wait and watch, see what happens with that. Again, these predictions, sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't, but yeah, wait and see. But anyway, the weather has been very strange around here. I've never seen wattles flower this early. So Yeah, yeah, and it's like I'm sleeping in the caravan shirtless at the moment. I've no heating in there. Especially on cold winter nights, it's absolutely freezing in there. Well, I'm shirtless in there. I'm sleeping shirtless in there with no heating, and man, absolutely fine. And I'm still waking up hot sometimes. So, yeah, yeah, that's quite interesting. Yeah, we are not having a proper winter. It feels already like early spring, and then if it continues, then spring might feel already like summer. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, anyway, the main thing I want to update you on is I've switched to my Dumbphone, a Dumbphone, voila. Yep, it's gonna be my main phone for the next while. Yeah, I'm gonna do a semi dopamine fast through the month of July. Not exactly the same as previous ones, but basically, yeah, just no social media. Just by switching to a dumb phone, you pretty much can eliminate everything. Like I still have this phone for certain things. I'll use it to record these videos. I've got my camera, of course, as well. Still record videos and upload, but use this thing to hotspot. But for the most part, this phone that I'm recording on is going to be sitting in the drawer at home. And now, if I'm traveling, I'll bring it with me just for certain things, emergencies. And yeah, really, I only want to use a smartphone when traveling. Like when traveling overseas and all that, like it's a lot easier, of course, to have a smartphone. Like just easier to stay in touch with people, um, and yeah, setting up eSIMs and all that, just way easier on this phone. So yeah, certain tasks I will still use a smartphone. I will, if I'm traveling, for example, I will probably switch back to a smartphone, just easier to, with navigation and everything. But yeah, while I'm here, while I'm at home, I'm going to do this thing. So yeah, that's that. What else? Apart from that, yeah, last few days I've started to have more urges again. Um, Finally. So yeah, pretty much back to how it should be with that. It's really interesting. I had like no urges for like the last 4 weeks, really, like nothing. 2 nights ago, I forgot to mention, I did have a wet dream 2 nights ago, which is my first on this streak. So a bit of a chaser effect, and that's probably why I suddenly have some urges. So yeah, anyway, it's normal. It's yeah. I'm really going into this for the long term now. Definitely going to go 100 plus days on this streak. Yeah, I'm not quite committing to the full year yet, but I think I'm definitely warming up to that. Like once we go 100 plus days, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just taking it day by day, really. I'm not making any big promises or anything. And that's one thing I'm trying to change. I really want to stop telling others, including through on here. I really want to stop telling other people what my next move is, what I'm going to do. Like, I've realized you can spend a lot of time just, speaking about, okay, this is my plan, I'm going to do this, but ultimately it really doesn't matter unless you act, unless you take action on it. And yeah, shout out to Ian on YouTube. It's Ian on YouTube. He was talking about this. He was talking about the same thing recently, and that really got me thinking. He was saying like, yeah, we can do that. We can spend all this time talking about, oh, this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. And yeah, we live in an era of instant gratification where like we want everything and we want it all right now. And when we speak about our plans, okay, I'm going to do this, you can like essentially give yourself like this dopamine high of like accomplishing something, even though you actually haven't done anything, even though like nothing actually has changed. And I've noticed it's the same with me. Like I'll say these things, this is my plan, I'm going to do this, do that. And then you sort of get excited and like the same sort of feeling almost. Like even though you haven't done anything, like the brain sort of gets that same rush of dopamine. Because dopamine is not about pleasure in and of itself. Dopamine is not about feeling good in the moment. Dopamine is more so connected to anticipation of something. Like, yeah, like for example, with social media, it's not really about, like reading posts or watching videos, watching shorts or whatever. It's not actually watching a video in and of itself. It's about the anticipation. Just you scroll, like the anticipation building. It's the same with, say, porn addiction. It's not about you watch the video and that's what gets your brain fired up. It's more so the novelty of searching for that next clip and the scrolling and the clicking. Like that's really what it is. So yeah, trying to break that cycle, like by living this high intensity, dopamine heavy life, we can really get wire our minds to the point where you can talk about all these things and like get excited from all these things, but ultimately like you haven't actually done anything, you haven't taken any action. So that's what I am going to change now. And even just by saying this, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make all these changes, right? It's going to be careful with our words, but more importantly, we have to be careful with what we say in relation to how we act. Like if you say something and then you go and do it, that's like that builds discipline, that builds confidence. But if you say something and then you don't do it, that really does breaks that trust with yourself. And yeah, look, it's very, very easy to lose faith and break trust, but it takes a lot more time and effort to build it back up again. And look, over the years, I've made all these promises to myself and then I broke them and I didn't follow through. And that cost me a lot in terms of lost confidence, lost time. And yeah, it's taken me a long time to start building that up again. I still have a long way to go. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say. Like actions versus words. Like I'm just going to focus now, okay? Take the action, do what I want, do what I need to do what I want to do, and just don't talk so much about it. Like the times in my life where I have changed the most have been when I haven't even been making videos, where I haven't really even been saying much about what I'm going to do. It's just been when I've taken action. For example, a big thing was moving out here. During that time, I wasn't making videos. I wasn't even saying much. I was so busy. It was a crazy time. I was just so focused on the moment. But yeah, I took the action, and then that's how I made the changes. So yeah. I mean, the time I'm at now, I do benefit from these videos, but yeah, I want to be more careful about what I say, and I'm not going to share so much in terms of, okay, this is my next step, this is what I'm going to do. Like once I do something, I'll update you on, hey, this is a change in my life, this is what I've done. But yeah, I'm not going to say like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'll share updates with you once things happen. More so focused on the past tense, not like, okay, this is my next step, this is what I'm going to do this week, next month, la la la. No, I'm going to focus more on, okay, this is what just happened, and in terms of the future, what I need to do, it's time for action, not words. So yeah, that's that. A bit of a rambling about everything, about the strange weather, climate change. I'll do a dedicated video on climate change. It's an interesting topic. I don't like the term climate change either, because like people just weaponize it. The media, politicians, people weaponize it. Because look, when you say climate change, what do you mean? What do you mean? Be specific. Like people talk about climate change in terms of global warming. Like, the changing climate. The climate has always changed. There's always been these cycles. There's always been a natural cycle where climate has changed. We've been in ice ages. We've been in periods of time when the world was hotter than it was now. Again, I do believe that human activity does influence the climate. I do believe that. I'm not someone who just denies that. Oh no, it's all natural. We don't have an impact. No, I think we do have an impact, and I have noticed, even though I'm still young, I have noticed in my lifetime that weather patterns and climate has shifted. I do pay close attention to these things, so I do believe we have an impact. But again, I don't believe like it's this doom and gloom thing of like, oh, we have to go net zero and that humans are completely to blame for everything. No, there's a natural cycle at play, but I do believe we do influence it to a certain degree. Ultimately, look, I'm all for sustainability, I'm all for being environmentally friendly, but again, certain agendas have been weaponized, and ultimately just follow the money. Like certain groups of people have a lot to gain from, say, net zero, pushing renewables. Like, look, I live off grid, we live off solar. I'm not against solar panels and wind if it's used in the proper context, right? I'm not against renewables. I think renewables have their place, but at the same time, like, we need reliable baseload power to get the economy going. I don't believe you can run our economy completely off renewables. We need reliable baseload power, and this net zero insanity is really just costing, especially many Western countries, a lot economically. Like Australia, we're really going about things the wrong way. So anyway, I'll talk more about this in a future video. It's an interesting topic and a very important topic, very relevant to politics now, especially as parties like One Nation here in Australia have been rising a lot, and they of course they're completely opposed to net zero. So that's really one of the biggest things in politics at the moment, scrapping net zero. Major talks about that. But anyway, interesting observations with the weather, and I'll share more about my thoughts on this whole climate change agenda in the future. apart from that, yeah, just switching to Dumbphone for the time being, just getting back to the present moment. Like I did notice, like my ability to focus and be in the present has definitely deteriorated since using this since switching back to a smartphone. Like, yeah, my best times were when I didn't have a smartphone, where I'm just focused in the present moment. So we're getting back to that. We're getting back to that. Like in the last year or 9 months, really, since I've got this smartphone, like I don't know, certain parts of my life I've just sort of felt like something's missing, something's lacking. Like I'm just not enjoying life like I used to, and I wasn't really able to put my finger on it. And then just recently, I just figured out, hang on, certain things started to really change since I switched to this smartphone. So now I'm taking a step back, switching back to this, and yeah, I'll update you all how that goes. I'll still do the regular check-ins on here, but apart from that, I'm going to keep my smartphone locked away. So yeah, that's it. Hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, I might do more videos sitting around like this. I quite enjoy it, but apart from that, yeah, ooh, a little bit of blue sky, eh? Yeah, really teasing us. I just want a proper clear sunny day. Like it's so funny. We had way more sun in New Zealand than here. New Zealand typically has this sort of gloomy, overcast weather. So yeah, not here. But anyway, interesting. So yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Onwards and upwards.